$2.4 trillion added to the federal deficit, and 11 million Americans will lose their health insurance. That's what the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office reported today the big, beautiful bill is going to do. And that's fueling more hate posts from Elon Musk and pissing off Republicans. So what's going on? Well, today the CBO released its revised score of the big, beautiful bill based on the actual legislation passed by the House. Now, I reported in this video a few weeks ago that the initial CBO score was based on the initial proposal from the Republicans in the House. Now, back then, the CBO said the bill was going to cost $2.3 trillion over the next 10 years. Well, now that the House has made a few tweaks to the bill and has actually passed its own version, the CBO crunched the new numbers with the new tweaks, and it arrived at a $2.4 trillion increase to the deficit over the next 10 years. The new CBO score also says this bill will force almost 11 million people to lose their health insurance in this country. And no, it's not just illegals, as some lawmakers have suggested. The CBO addressed that specifically. This report says that the total includes an estimated 1.4 million people without verified citizenship, nationality, or satisfactory immigration status who would no longer be covered through state-only funded programs. But that still leaves 9.5 million Americans without Medicaid coverage or health insurance through the Affordable Care Act because of the cuts in this bill. Now, if you want to read these numbers from the CBO, I'm going to email the report out to you in tonight's Facts HQ email, so make sure you sign yourself up. Now, as I've said before, the CBO score is always controversial. The score is not always 100% accurate because the CBO is projecting costs over the next 10 years. Lawmakers always politicize this score. If they get a bad score, lawmakers trash it, saying the CBO is bullshit and they have no idea what they're talking about. And the opposing party acts as if the CBO score came down from heaven. But the bottom line is the CBO score is the gold standard. This is what Congress has used for decades to inform their decisions. And for the record, the CBO is nonpartisan, as I've been reporting. But if you want me to be completely technically accurate, the fact is the head of the CBO is a Republican. He served under George W. Bush. In 2019, he was selected by the Republican chairs in both the House and the Senate Budget Committees to serve as director of CBO. Then he was reappointed by another Republican to keep his job in 2023. And also, to be fair, the CBO isn't the only scorekeeper that says this bill would increase the federal deficit. There are several private entities, think tanks, and even Wall Street that says the exact same thing. Now, this new CBO score is fueling more hate posting about this bill from the president's biggest donor and key ally, Elon Musk. He posted several times about the big, beautiful bill today. Yesterday, as I reported in this video, he called it an abomination and casted shame on any Republican that voted yes. Today, he is escalating his rhetoric, saying, call your senator, call your congressman, bankrupting America is not okay. Kill the bill. He even suggested the big, beautiful bill should be scrapped completely and a new bill should be drafted. Now that's really saying something, especially because this big, beautiful bill is President Trump's baby, for lack of a better word. This is his signature piece of legislation. And I know lots of you have said, who cares what Elon Musk says? Now that's a fair statement for you to make, but I'll tell you who cares. Republican lawmakers who want Elon Musk to donate to their re-election campaigns. Now, whether that's enough for them to vote no on this bill, we're going to have to wait and see. But what we do know for sure is Republicans are pissed off. House Republicans want to know why Elon Musk didn't raise these concerns 2 weeks ago, and Senate Republicans are pissed off about this updated CBO score. They claim that it doesn't take into account all kinds of other things that are going to happen in this country over the next 10 years that are going to increase the GDP and offset some of their new spending. But the reality is, even the scorekeepers that do use what's called dynamic scoring, which would take into account all that projected GDP growth, still say this bill would increase the deficits. The bottom line is the Senate is absolutely going to change this bill. President Trump suggested today that they should cut the $4 trillion increase to the debt ceiling out of the bill completely. Now, that's not going to change the CBO score, but it may persuade some hesitant Republicans to vote yes. What's going to change the CBO score is going to depend on what major changes the Senate Republicans make to this bill, and we're going to know what those are very soon.